Has anybody got a question?
I do.
Okay, let's go.
On offense, the changes that you've made this year, would you say they're major changes or minor changes?
I wouldn't say they were major changes. I would say that they're enhancements to just trying to do what we do better. And so anyway, that's how I would gauge it. A fine tune. And by the way, I used the Indy race car analogy a few weeks ago, and the president of Indianapolis Motor Speedway emailed me, said thanks, and anytime I want to come there, I'm welcome, and he'll take care of me. So whoever printed that, awesome. So I want to go to the Indy 500.
So if fans are watching on TV and they want to understand what things you've changed in your offense, what should they be looking for to understand it?
I don't think there's things that we can talk about on this that would make any sense to fans. I just think we're trying to play a little faster. We're trying to play, be more athletic and play with a little more speed. And so I think those are the main things to look for.
John, how ready are you for this week? There's going to be a step up in competition. This is a big match when it comes to the Big Ten race. It
is, but we're looking forward to, from here on out, we're all playing ranked teams and or rivals, and so this is going to get fun and it's going to be super competitive, and so I think our players are looking forward to it, and this is why you play in the Big Ten, and we know volleyball is really tough, and we're playing next 2 weeks are number 1 and number 5 ranked teams in the country. So we'll get tested and see where we're at, and it'll be fun.
Does it feel different at practice, John? Do you get a sense that your players are aware that the stakes go up and they're going to have to raise their level of play starting this week?
Well, we haven't practiced yet because we were stuck in New Jersey and didn't get home till Sunday night. So we couldn't practice yesterday. So I'm hopeful today the power doesn't go out and we actually can practice. So we're already having issues with this, and the power was already out for an hour this morning. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed. We have light. We'll practice in the cold, but we got some lights in the Devaney.
Power was out in the Devaney Center. Is that where it was out?
Yep. Well, it was out here this morning for an hour. So, but it's back on, and I don't know where else on campus. We're in our bunker. We're in the bunker here.
Jazz got her most extensive playing time of the year on Saturday. How do you evaluate her performance in that match?
I thought she came in, did a really nice job. She looked really confident, took some really good swings. So that's what we want from her, and we'll see how this week goes in practice. Those guys are competing every week.
What kind of flexibility does not only having Jazz and Riley at outside, and then also having Kayla and Callie in the middle, what kind of flexibility does that give you with your offense?
Well, everybody's got strengths and weaknesses, and that group that you mentioned. So we want to try to highlight the strengths depending on who we're playing and what we need, and then and we can adjust if we got some depth. We can have people play and move people in and out, and we feel pretty comfortable doing it. So it's I think it's I don't know, sometimes as a coach you don't want many decisions, you just want them just to play and don't worry about it. But also it's nice to be able to have some matchup options, and if we need offense, Kayla's is an instant offense, and if we need blocking, Callie's instant blocking, and Jazz is a lefty, which brings a whole new dimension. Riley's got size and creates a dimension. So again, we got a couple of different ways we can go about it, and I think playing back to back same team, it's nice to have those options. That's what we've been training.
John, with how unique this season is with the back-to-backs, you get to play a top 5 team back-to-back nights. You can get your first taste of that. What do you think the challenges will that face?
Well, I think both teams should be fired up because they're big matches. And I think, mentally who can grind through 2 matches and play really hard and stay with it. And that to me is going to be the big test. Minnesota's already played Penn State and Purdue. So they've been in some battles, some 5-game battles. So I'll be interested to see how our team responds and how we respond the next night. And they're going to have to bring energy because there's not fans to carry them. And so it's an interesting dynamic, and so we'll see how we do. But again, I think we're looking forward to it. And these are the type weekends that will bring out the best in us.
John, how would you assess how your passing has been so far through 3 weeks?
Average. Yeah. We're but the passing, the serving we've been going against has been really good as well. And I've noticed everybody we played so far served really well. And I think we've served really well. So I think the serving's at a higher level. And so we're going to have to adjust as passers a little bit on how we're going to pass those tough serves, because we're seeing it from everybody.
How much will passing determine how much success this team has this year?
Well, I think serving and passing is, you don't do a good job on that, you're going to have a hard time beating great teams. So it's just no different than football. Who can run the ball and who can control the line of scrimmage. To me, that's serving and passing.
This will be your first non-back-to-back. You got the Friday, Sunday. Does that change kind of how you go about your weekend and prepare for that second match?
No, it just impacts the next week, because it means we can't train Monday, and so, which I don't like. But we just had to do that because we were stuck at Rutgers. So, but Minnesota also had to play Sunday night, which is brutal as well. So I feel bad for Penn State. Who knows what time they got home Sunday night. It kind of gives you a day in between, makes for a long road trip for whoever's on the road. It'll be interesting. But we've done this before. We're used to it. And, it's part of the deal.
What's Minnesota doing really well so far this season?
They've got, a setter now that, has played every match. Last year, they were kind of shuffling setters. So there's some consistency there. Like always, they're very low air, and they've got some great arms with Landfair's a great arm, and Samade's right now is playing, is probably playing as the best player in the country at level. So we're going to have our hands full.
Coach, this is your second home series for your young players. Are you looking for them to sort of adjust more to that sort of scene than they did in the Maryland series early in the year and sort of settle into that?
Absolutely. And they've got 6 matches under their belt. We need them to be solid, but Minnesota's going to be playing some young players as well. So it's time to step up. The honeymoon part of the season's over. It's grind time now.
Got time for one more question?
Coach, you talked about Sanity a little bit there. I mean, she's back-to-back Big Ten Player of the Week and had 20-plus kills in both matches against Penn State. What is she doing well, and how do you game plan against a player that's playing at that elite level?
Yeah, well, she hits out of the front row and the back row. So you got to defend her 6 rotations, which we're usually not used to that in women's volleyball. Men's volleyball, it's for sure. You're always, everybody hits out of the back rows. So that's where you've got to be aware of where she is. And, we got to figure out what her tendencies are and how we want to defend her, both in the front row and the back row. And, that's what our job as coaches, to prepare our team to try to limit her kills as much as we can. And it's a good challenge when somebody's playing that well. So we're fired up to take on that challenge. But she's playing at a really high level. And last couple of weeks, she's been phenomenal.
All right, we'll bring Lauren Stivrins up here in a second.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, Nader.